What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today is going to be a slightly different kind of video, a little more laid back, a little more low key. And as you can tell, I'm at my folks' house here in New Hampshire, and in real time, it's about a week before Christmas, and my mom is in charge of hosting the faculty party for the school she works at, which is going to be like 40 to 60 people or something like that. And because I'm here, it just made sense to cook some barbecue. Great way to feed a crowd. But as you can also tell, it is a disgusting day out here. It's an oddly warm day. It's in the 50s and it's raining. I was really hoping for a nice snowy backdrop today, but the show must go on. So today we're firing up the Chud box. We're gonna make some pulled pork. We're gonna cook some brisket, maybe on the Weber. We'll see what fits. Probably have a couple of beers and enjoy this gloomy day. So let's get that pit fired up. Hi, Kevin. Good boy. What I got here is a beautiful looking skin on pork picnic roast. And of course we're gonna pat it dry. And you've seen me cook these plenty of times, really simple cook. We're just gonna throw it on the pit, salt the top, and cook it till it's nice and tender. So, on the pit we go. Beautiful, but we're gonna need more than that. There we go. I think that's enough pork. These have been on for a little bit. I salted the tops with some salt just to try and keep that skin nice and clean and get nice and crispy. Rocking right around 300 degrees. And just get these cooking away. I also got some brisket that I'm gonna throw on. All I could find was the flat cut, which is pretty typical for these parts. So I'm gonna get this Weber fired up and get those on there too. Typical kettle setup here. Got the old slow and sear. Got the cast iron baffle in the bottom. Just gonna get this lit up and try to get this thing rocking around 250 degrees. Again, not the prettiest thing in the world, but got a good fat cap on it, and it looks like most of a brisket, so I think it'll be all right. And we're making chopped beef and pulled pork, so doesn't really matter too much. And we are fresh out of paper towels, so no patting it dry on this one. But just gonna hit this with some classic SPG. Not even gonna trim it. Nice, heavy coating, folks. You know the drill. And don't forget the sides. It'll be a rookie move. That's why it's nice to do this outside. Looking pretty good to me. Let's throw it on the Weber if I don't trip over Kevin. Beautiful. Threw a chunk of hickory wood on there, get a little smoke rolling, and should be cooking right along. Again, we're making chopped beef, so I'm not gonna be too particular about temps and whatnot, but also don't wanna burn it. And I got some doggies to play with. Well, snack time. What do we got here, bud?
Well, pheasant poppers.
Nice, you got those pheasants yourself?
We did.
So what do we got going on?
So we got a little bit of cream cheese, some vegetable mix, Cabot cheddar sharp, some homemade pheasant sausage wrapped in bacon.
Throw it on the smoker. Sounds good to me. It's 3 p.m., so naturally it's almost dark, but we got these poppers coming off the pit. One full grill. I was gonna say this is a great way to break in a brand new smoker. But yeah, looking good. Mom, would you like to try a pheasant popper?
I would. Have you tried them yet?
Not yet, we're just letting them cool down a little bit.
Oh, did you just cook them?
Yeah, that looks good.
So they're jalapeno and
Dude.
pheasant sausage.
That was so good. Mm-hmm.
Yum. And
And
you
there's
killed
some-
the pheasant?
We did kill a pheasant.
How much meat does this represent? One pheasant? Two pheasants?
That's probably 3 pheasants. 3/4 pound pheasant.
Look at the dogs.
These dogs have been at our heels all day. That's good.
Hey Dave, we're about to try a pheasant popper.
Okay.
Are the jalapenos hot?
No,
Took the seat.
Oh my god.
man knows how to cook.
That's really good.
That really is good.
I love the texture of it with the sausage on top. Not just plain cream cheese. Very good.
And the smoky flavor, too.
So is this the first time you've made them, Patrick? Or
It was one of our hunting camp specials.
oh, it is similar to something that you did once, Brad, right?
All right, we're about 6-7 hours into both of these cooks, and the rain has finally stopped, but these are looking pretty good. Probing in the 170 range, so I think it's time to give these a flip and start hitting them with a mop sauce. But first, we need to make a mop sauce. Starting out by going into this pot with 1 stick of butter. Ooh, good news, the magical trivet still works up here. And once nicely melted, we're gonna go in with the smallest onion I have seen in a long time. And once those have softened down a little bit, we're gonna go in with a lemon. Boop. A nice healthy shot of some hot sauce. We're going with Cholula today. A couple splashes of some Worcestershire sauce. About a cup of white vinegar. As well as a cup of some apple cider vinegar. And we're going with some crushed red pep too while we're here. And we're gonna finish this off with some granulated garlic, because I don't feel like peeling fresh stuff. And we'll thin it out with a little beer. Beautiful. Bring this up to a simmer, and our mop sauce is done. Looking good. A lot of meat on this pit. So now we're gonna go ahead and try and remove this salt. Very nice. Hog salt. And if it falls in the coals, no big deal. But as you can see, kept the skin nice and clean. Very nice. Also dried it out a bit, which will help in the crispification process. Ooh, lost a little pork. Oh, that was an old popper. Oh no, sorry little guy. Still looks good to me though. But as you can see, lovely color on there. Just get these all nice and flipped over. Try not to rip right through the fat cap like that. Wow, that was really hot. Beautiful color on that though. Could be the problem with new grates. A little bit sticky, but not after this cook. I'll tell you that much. All right, beautiful. Gonna kick up this fire a little bit, try and get that skin nice and crisped, while at the same time trying to get these up to temp, which will likely be around 200 degrees. So while we wait, we'll do some mopping. Love it. Add some nice flavor, soften up this underside that may have gotten blasted from that direct heat, and it just smells so good right off the bat. All right, we'll check back in a couple hours. I'm gonna mop it every probably 30 minutes. As for the brisket, looking pretty good. Got some nice bark developed on there. Haven't temped it yet, but I'm gonna pull it off. And that's because I've got a whole nother brisket to cook, about the same size, but there's no fat cap on it, which is a bummer. And again, I'm making chopped beef for sandwiches alongside the pulled pork. So really all I need to do is get some good smoke flavor and bark built up on these, and then I can finish them in the oven, which is not the most professional barbecue move, but that's the whole point of this video. And because of limited space, I'm gonna pull that off, throw that other one on, get a couple hours of smoke on it, then probably let them go in the oven overnight. All right, we're about 10 hours into this cook. Brisket number 1 is done. We'll see that in a minute. These pork shoulder picnic hams are also done, probing nice and tender. We got some crispy skin on there, although I think I went a little too hot at one point because that skin is not looking as unburned as I'd like it to look. Got cold. And brisket number 2, again, this has only been on for a few hours, but it's just a lean with no fat cap, which is, you know, just the worst. But for chopped beef, should be fine. And we're just getting some color on this, some smoke on this, and then I'll probably finish this in the oven overnight, but we're just playing it by ear here, folks. And to be completely honest, I wasn't planning on filming this because usually when I'm making a video, I like to have more of a plan, more of a structure, but you know what? I said, hey, let's just take you guys along for the ride, what an actual cook looks like when I'm not really trying my hardest. So let's go look at that brisket inside. Honestly, doesn't look bad. Decent bark on there. Got some good fat render, looking nice and squishy. And this got about 6-7 hours of smoke till that bark was formed. Then I finished it in the oven, just on a sheet tray at 270 degrees, till it came up to about 180 internal. Gave it the old foil boat and just kept rocking at 270 until now, where it's probing about 200, 205 internal, feeling nice and tender. And looking pretty good, honestly. But now I'm gonna let this rest down for a minute. We'll probably wrap it in cling wrap and give it just a long overnight heated rest, unless I have to finish that other brisket. I'll keep you posted. But in the meantime, I guess I'll have a nice little beverage, and I'm probably gonna watch a Christmas movie. Ah, 'tis the season. All right, fresh off the pit, we got these beautiful pork picnic roasts, and by fresh off the pit, I mean it's probably been an hour. I've been letting them cool down a little bit so I can get in there with my gloved hands. And like I said, the color, a little darker than I would typically aim for, but I think it's still gonna be nice and crunchy. Pretty happy about that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and just pull all this skin off, trying to leave behind any of this juicy, fatty meat. Definitely feeling nice and tender. A beautiful skin. Yep, that's tasty. You know, just taking pork skin off at 2 in the morning. Typical day in the life of Chud. But we want to leave all this fat behind from the skin, so go ahead and scrape all that back in. And now we can start to pull this pork, which is just looking absolutely beautiful. We're just gonna get the bones out, anything that's crunchy. Don't want that. And I'm planning on serving all this tomorrow, but just for size, I want to take these bones out so all this pork will fit in a single pan. But we will likely come back tomorrow and doctor this up a little bit. Ooh, look at that. Little pork sketty action. Yes, please. So I'll probably just dice this up and throw it back in because that's really good flavor, but it's also not that appetizing. But because it's late at night, I'm gonna just leave it all in there and maybe it'll hydrate overnight. But number 3, bone just comes out clean. Gotta love that. And there we have it, a bunch of beautiful pulled pork made from some picnic roasts. Again, I'm gonna wrap this up, pop it in the oven overnight. Oh, that is good. Cover this with foil. It'll rest at 170 with that brisket overnight just to get extra tender and basically just keep warm. And then tomorrow, we'll give it another pull, season it to taste, and this will be done. This other brisket is finally coming off the pit. It's definitely not done, but it's nice and barky, and I'm ready to go to bed. So now that it's 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm gonna just cut this up, and we're gonna do something a little bit different with this piece of brisket. We can tell that it is nice and smoky, but still super tough. Beautiful smoke ring on that, not gonna lie. So I'm gonna just treat this like a beef cheek, I think, and just pop it into a crock pot with a bunch of beef fat. So first things first, I'm just gonna slice this against the grain into some big chunks, just to make sure we have some short muscle fibers. And now we're gonna top this with a whole bunch of beef fat. And again, the thought process is a confit, like a barbacoa or a beef cheek or something, where we smoked it, gave it some good flavor, some good color, and now we're just trying to get it tender. So this will go for the rest of the night. Next morning, got a whole bunch of sleep last night.
I made it to school first thing though.
Ooh, but today is the day of the party. Are you ready for it?
We will be in a couple hours.
Got this brisket out, looking good. This is the stuff that went into the crock pot confit last night, nice and shredded up. Now we're gonna get this bad boy sliced up, mix them together, and our beef will be done. What do you think, Mom? Should we slice into this?
Wow. Oh, look at all that.
Pretty ugly piece of brisket, but you know,
I know you were. Is this the one that had the fat cap or the other one?
this is the one with the fat cap, yeah. But it's the best BJ's had to offer. Boop, boop, boop. Look, pretty juicy, a little overcooked on the bottom, but you know what? I was kind of going for that because we're making chopped beef. And now the fun part.
Oh gosh, Brad.
Ooh, that is toasty. Yeah, I'd say that turned out pretty tender. All right, folks, beef is done in a crock pot, keeping warm, tasting great. It actually came out a lot better than I was expecting, which is great, because at first it looked pretty dry, but you can always add beef fat to it. And that other one had a fat cap on it, which worked out great. Pork also came out. I took that out of the oven, gave it a nice mix up, seasoned it with a little bit of salt, threw a little apple cider vinegar in there, a little bit of hot sauce, but I don't want to make it too hot because we got some New Hampshire palates here. But now, for people that don't want beef or pork, we're making chicken. Just some bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs. Couldn't be much easier. And to season them up, I'm gonna do one side with snake bite because it tastes really good with chicken, and then the other side I'm gonna do with regular chud rub. Again, don't want to burn out any palates. Although it's really not that spicy. I could probably get away with it. But it's the holidays, folks. Gotta be considerate. Beautiful chud rub on top, nice black pepper, and yet another neighborhood dog. That's Nemo. Never met Nemo before. Has showed up. I don't think the dogs in the neighborhood are used to the smell of barbecue. But just gonna do a quick hot and fast cook on these, try and get some crispy skin, and be thankful that it's not raining. And just like that, another day, another fully loaded chud box. Ooh, give these a flip, get some crispy skin. Loving that color though. Gotta say, I'm feeling a little weird because my mom works at the same high school I went to, and the entire faculty is coming over, and I haven't seen any of them since 2008, and I hope it's not awkward. And if you're watching this and you were at the party, you were great. It wasn't awkward at all. It's not you, it's me. Beautiful cook. We're about 350 right now. Nice hot and fast cook. Get some color and get it knocked out, because once these are done, then all I need to do is, you know, film a bunch of faculty members eating food, which is, you know, just a weird thing. That looks so good. All right, shouldn't be long now.
So before everybody gets here, it's time for the official taste test, and Cindy and Joy are gonna do it. So Joy, you've got the pork.
The pork. Oh, Josie!
Josie, what's Cindy got? Sit.
Josie,
Sit.
Josie. Oh, up here. Here. You ready? You ready? Good girl. Good girl. Oh, get the other fingers too. Oh, good job.
Clean it up. I mean, and just like that, these are looking absolutely beautiful. Loving that color. Nice crispy skin. So now that these are done, I'm officially done cooking, at least for this party. So I deserve a beer. Oops. Gotta say, it's kind of awkward watching people watch you. But party's about to begin, and we've got quite the spread. Nice little coleslaw, some baked beans with bacon, lovely looking taters, chicken, beef, pork. I think we're ready.
I think we're ready too. Let's eat. Josie's ready.
Yeah.
And there's this woman doing
What's the best bite? Beef, the pork, or the chicken?
I haven't gotten to the beef yet, so I gotta let you know.
We'll come back. How you feeling, Dad?
I'm
Good. I'm glad that it finally happened.
Yeah. Yeah, down to the wire.
People are excited to meet Brad. Papa Chud is very happy. Joy, we ran out of potatoes. Brad is probably going to kill me for stealing his camera.
Both my
These
kids.
are some of my favorite people in the world, and I am happy to capture them for this video.
All right, y'all, and that is it. That is how I cater for a bunch of people when I'm completely out of my element, cooking a whole bunch of food. And it just goes to show you, even when you don't have all the same gear and tools that you're used to having, sometimes you just got to figure things out on the fly. And I pulled out a lot of little tricks on this video that I didn't anticipate, like the confit or finishing in the oven or things like that. But again, that's what it's all about. And at the end, everybody loved the food. It was a very lovely party. Great to see those folks again. And I hope you enjoyed watching me flail a little bit. But all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that subscribe button. Let YouTube know by dropping a like on this video. If you give any of these recipes a try for yourself, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Chuds BBQ. I'd love to see what y'all are cooking. Big shout out to all the Patreon members. Thank you for supporting Team Chud and allowing me to keep making all these videos. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace. Kevin, you're still here? Later.